Hey friends, welcome to the channel. If you're frustrated that you are not yet able to understand your target language, either in written or in spoken form, you found the right video. Los geht's! My name is Dustin, I'm an IT project manager from Germany. On this channel we create content that helps us to be more productive, to learn new things, especially languages, and to live a happier and more fulfilling life. Today we'll be talking about Beelinguapp. Beelinguapp? Not sure. Which is an app for building up a solid comprehension in your target language. It aims to facilitate your learning and give you bite-sized chunks of text, including audio, together with a translation in your mother tongue or a language you speak already fluently. And in this video, we will first have a look at the science behind the learning methodology that this app uses. Then we will review the app in detail and compare the pros and cons, as well as the free with the premium version. And last but not least, conclude and find out if you should use this app or not. Let's dive into today's wait. First, you know it, a nice sip of coffee. Let's dive into today's topic. Before we delve into the nitty-gritty of Beelinguapp, let's quickly touch on the golden principle that underpins it all. The theory of comprehensible input, championed by the one and only Stephen Krashen. It's the idea that effective language acquisition occurs when we are exposed to content that's not only understandable, so comprehensible, but also engaging or compelling. Beelinguapp works in the tradition of bilingual texts, where you have your target language on one side and your mother tongue or a language you are fluent in on the other side. There's a wide variety of different texts and stories available, from classics to news articles over kids' books to cultural guides and even songs. And since you also have translations at hand, you'll be able to work with more advanced stories earlier. So now let's have a look at the app together. So first we'll open it, and here it is. I've already created an account. You can do that too, and you can get the app within the App Store. So it's available for iOS as well as for Android. I am currently testing here the iOS version. Okay, this is the main page, but before we start, you will need to create an account. And once that is done, you can also choose to have premium or not. I would suggest you just start with a free version and then you see how you like the app. I've of course bought the premium version in order to be able to test it properly for you. Then contact, there you can put in complaints or if you found a bug or something, or if you need some support. And within the settings you can choose which language you want to learn. And there's quite an extensive list. So you can learn Spanish, Japanese, Greek, Hindi, Chinese, Italian, English, Polish, Swedish, French, Korean, Norwegian, Russian, Arabic, Dutch, German, Portuguese, Turkish, and Indonesian. So the list is quite extensive. And the reason for that is, or I suspect at least, that the app developers are doing quite a good job in making the app in a way that it scales quite good. So many texts are being created by AI or even translated by translator tools. And also the text-to-speech is being created automatically for many texts. And this allows the developers to have text in many languages and to scale it up easily. And I suspect to have way more languages in the future. That would be the logical step if you ask me. But I guess we'll see. But this is only what I think. Okay, I speak, and there you can also choose between all those 14 languages. I've chosen it to be English, so one language that you speak. And you can also set a weekly goal in order to keep you motivated. Okay. Then you can also set notifications. You can delete the account, and that's actually all here. Now let's come back to the main page. This is the library where all the texts are available for you. On top you see back to school, and this is a topic that's currently in season, I would say. So it's an in-app event, which means currently the school year has just started, and this means we'll get some texts around that topic. But this will of course change, and I guess there will be also a Christmas topic, or I don't know, New Year's or whatever. Okay, now we try to go back and it doesn't work. So we have found a bug, and that's quite common in the iOS version, that there are those little nasty bugs. And if I do that now here and back, then we can go back. So that's really annoying, and at times the app doesn't feel polished. So I hope that they work on that. Okay, the weekly goal I've already mentioned. You get reading challenges, which are actually like small courses where texts are based around one specific topic. So for example, you get Explore Mexico, Intermediate, Advanced and Beginner. You get Explore Spain. If you have a look here, you'll see different texts as already mentioned, and you will also receive a badge once you have read 2 texts in order to further motivate you. Good. What else? Recently added. There you can see texts that have recently been added, of course, and those are also all related to topics that might be of relevance right now, like with Robert Oppenheimer and the new film from Christopher Nolan. You also get news articles which get updated frequently, but those are mainly created automatically, but there's a wide variety of that. Continue reading, self-explaining, of course, and then you see down here all the different categories. So all that might be relevant for you. And when you set up the app, you can also choose which categories are relevant for you. And then there are also so-called filters where you can filter for specific content. So for example, if you want to learn more about, I don't know, let's say travel, then you can do that. This way you will get all the text related to travel. If you go back now and go to filters, you can also change the level. So if you only want to receive text for a B2 level, for example, you can also do so. And this way everything will get filtered for that. Good. And now that we are there, we could read a text together, and I will show you how the app actually works. So, visiting Mexico City. Visitando la Ciudad de México. Elias visits Mexico City. Learn useful vocabulary to describe a city and ask for directions. Okay. Then you see here key vocabulary. This will be added to our glossary after the session has been done. And let's walk through the story. So here you can see on top the text in the target language. You see at the bottom the text in our mother tongue or in our source language. And this way we can progress through the text. There's also a dark mode, which is here, but I like it more like that. And also the settings, so you can change the text size, you can change the speed, so the speed of the text to speech, and you can also change the split. For example, you can do it like this. Then you have only the Spanish version, or you can also, you can also change it back that it's split. Okay, good. And here we go. Let's see. So, disculpa, ¿cómo puedo llegar a Zócalo? Preguntó Elias a una mujer a la salida de la estación del metro. And now you click on it and you will hear the...
Disculpa, ¿cómo puedo llegar al Zócalo? Preguntó Elías a una mujer a la salida de la estación del metro.
And this way you can progress through the text, so you will just read and listen at the same time. And if you can't understand something, you can always look at the bottom for the translation. I would advise you to only look for the translation if you don't know a specific thing. And you can also mark a specific word and get a translation for the specific word. And this is really useful. So I always would advise that you only look for the translation of a specific word before you look for the whole translation. And this way you can also add specific words to the glossary if you have found words that you want to learn specifically, and also to the flashcards. Good. And now.
El edificio de Bellas Artes resplandecía con el sol de la mañana, y la gente caminaba apresuradamente por la calle. Hola, respondió la joven. ¿Ves ese edificio en la esquina?
This way you can really progress phrase by phrase, sentence by sentence, or you can just click on the play button and it will just play the whole text.
¿Ves ese edificio en la esquina? Es el Palacio Postal. Sigue derecho por la calle lateral. El Zócalo está a 6 cuadras de ahí. Elías conocía poco sobre México.
Oops. And it's also changing the page and just walking through that. Okay, and then we walk through the whole thing. Okay. And now that we have finished reading it, we can click here, mark as read. And then you'll get some options to choose from. You can either read again, you can practice vocabulary, or you can go to the library. Or you can take the quiz, and that's what we're gonna do now. Take the quiz. Quiz time. Test out your listening and reading comprehension skills. Okay? Que se encuentra al lado del Templo Mayor. And now it asks you questions to test your comprehension. So it's the cathedral, I think. Okay? Elias nació en Mexico. Did he got born in Mexico? No, I don't think so. Una enorme mexicana flotaba en el centro del Zócalo. Bandera, I think a flag, right? Yep, that's it. Okay, we answered everything right. And now here you can see all the vocabulary that we have gathered throughout the stories. And let's see, visiting Mexico City. That's the one we have just done. There you can see the word, catedral, visiting Mexico City. Okay, preposition relating to the throne or the see of a bishop. And then you can see some more. You can also see how to pronounce it, catedral. And here you can also listen to it.
Catedral.
Oops, wow, that was noisy, okay. And you could also, in theory, do some pronunciation practice. Catedral. Catedral. And now it says 80% correct, very good. But the feature is actually pretty buggy, so I'm not using it at all because it just frustrates me. It's not working properly and yeah, I get annoyed pretty fast. And once you've memorized it, you can mark it as memorized. Then you can move on. Yeah, and this way you can progress through your flashcards. What else? You have the glossary. That's just like a glossary of words where you can find everything that might be of interest. Then the profile. This is the progress section. There you can see your level. So I have just the bronze level, but you can get up to a platinum level, which means you have read 50,000 words. Here's the number of stories you have read, the stories read this week, the number of words read, questions answered, and so on. And you can also see the previously mentioned badges, the flashcards, the timeline, which stories you have consumed. You can also mark text as favorite to show up again, and you can also download the stuff to read them offline and listen to them offline. Yeah, that's actually all. Of course, no app is without its strengths and limitations. Let's break down the pros and cons of Beelinguapp. First of all, pros. There are many available languages. Then you'll get diverse content, so the app's extensive collection ensures that there's something for everyone. Then, comprehensible input, so the side-by-side text and translation facilitate easy understanding. The app provides audio support, so audiobooks and dual language audio aid pronunciation and listening skills. The interface is user-friendly. The app's layout is intuitive and easy to navigate and reduced to the most important points. There's also some progress tracking available, so you can monitor your language proficiency and track your improvements as well as achieve badges to increase motivation. Further, AI gets used to write stories with the right difficulty, selecting the most useful vocabulary to learn and embedding grammatical structures that are suited for your level. And last but not least, really short stories set the bar low to get started. Now to the cons. There are many bugs, but I've also only tested the iOS version. Many texts are just being read by a computer voice, so the audio file, And some texts are being generated by AI, which can sometimes feel a bit soulless, especially if it's being read by the previously mentioned computer voice. If this evolves further, it'll get better, I guess. There are already really good text-to-speech services like 11 Labs that produce content which is often even better than the ones being read by real humans. Often also only auto-generated translations, which are not always 100% accurate. And you can't import your own texts, but only read and listen to what's there. Then translation dependency. So relying too heavily on translations can hinder language growth. So make sure to not always read the full translations, but only look up single words if needed. And really short stories set the bar low to get started, but it would also be really nice to have also longer texts. And it would also be nice if you could create a playlist to listen to stories over and over again, to do also some passive studying while doing other stuff. Another negative point is also that you can't use Beelinguapp within a browser, but only as an app. So on iOS or Android, on tablets or smartphones, for example. And then no different accents. So for example, if you are learning Spanish, you'll get the standard Latin American Spanish accent, but for example, not Castellan. And there is progress tracking, but it could be a bit more detailed with curves and numbers to make it more, like visually appealing. The difference between free and premium is that you have in premium no ads, hundreds of stories. You can switch between all available languages back and forth, and each language has its own progress, and you also get unlimited songs. Further, you can track your progress and translate single words. When it comes to the pricing, you can get relatively cheap, even a lifetime membership. I got it, for example, for about 45 euros. So that's for a language learning app quite cheap. If you have already another app or methodology to consume comprehensible and compelling input and it works for you, then don't bother. I will, for example, still keep using LingQ because I can import stuff from all over the place and I like how it works much more. If you are, on the other hand, already using bilingual readers, for example, and want to have something more digital with audio, this one might be the right fit for you. In the end, it's just important to spend lots of time with your target language and to not get bored out along the way. Language learning is a marathon, not a sprint, and we should enjoy the run. If you are interested in how I am learning foreign languages, I've created this video here for you. Or if you currently need to save some money but still want to learn a language, I've made this video over here. Also, if you found the video useful, please leave me a like and a subscription to the channel, and to not miss anything going forward, click on the notification bell. Thank you so much for watching and see you the next time.